This monster I'm going to share with you is a monster that actually comes from the furthest west of the Iroquois people, the Seneca. And it's a monster that happens to be probably the biggest monster that ever lived, or maybe still does live, here in the Northeast. It's a monster known as a stone giant. And stone giants were said to be just that, great big huge monsters made of stone. They looked like big human beings, but their whole body was made of stone. They were 60, 70 feet tall, huge creatures. Oh. And the Seneca people say that long ago, these stone giants walked all over the land, destroying anything they found, especially human villages. Oh. People lived in fear of these stone giants. And one scary thing that these stone giants could do, besides all their destruction, is when they got bored, or maybe they destroyed everything around them, even though they didn't need to sleep, they could just curl up in a ball and make themselves look like a huge rock boulder. And they could sit there without moving for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, until one day, for some reason or another, they decide to wake up. And by then, whole villages, maybe whole cities, could have grown up around them. They start destroying. Oh. Well, long ago, they say there lived a young boy named Scunny Wundy. Can you say that? Scunny Wundy. And Scunny Wundy, he loved to skip stones. Any of you ever skipped stones before? Go down to the water, right? Find one of those flat stones, right? Pull back your arm, throw it down in the water. See how many skips you can make it do. Right? Well, they say that one day, long ago, Scunny Wundy was down by the big water, not too far away from his village, skipping stones. And he had been skipping stones for most of the day when he found what looked like the most perfect stone. It was almost perfectly round and flat on both ends. He knew it'd be good for skipping. So Scunny Wundy, he reached down, he picked up the stone, he pulled back his arm and threw that stone out of the water, and it went tsh, one, tsh,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Last one's a splash. 12 skips. How many of you have skipped stones before yet? How many of you have ever made a stone skip over 10 times? We got more storytellers here than me. Well, as you know, it's almost impossible to make a stone skip over 10 times. What has Scunny Wundy just done? 12. He couldn't wait to go back and tell all his friends. However, he was out there all alone. Do you think any of his friends would believe him?
No.
Probably not. Well, Scunny Wundy said out loud, "Man, I wish someone had seen me skip that stone." Well, his wish was about to come true, but not in the way he wanted it to. Because from behind him in a big, deep voice, he heard, "Nice skip!" Now, there was nothing behind Scunny Wundy but a big stone. Now, that stone had been there his whole life. He thought it had been there forever. But when he turned around and looked at that stone, all of a sudden, that stone stood up. And it wasn't a stone at all. It had been one of those huge stone giants that could have been sitting that way for thousands of years. And now it's just his luck that it decided to wake up. Oh? Now, Scunny Wundy, he knew how mean those stone giants were. He knew at any moment that stone giant would just lift one of his giant stone legs and squash him like a bug. So he had to think of something very quickly. And that's when he realized that that stone giant had to know something about skipping stones. What did it just say? Nice skip. He got an idea. He looked up at that stone giant and said, "Oh, wonderful. I have been looking for someone to challenge to a game of skipping stones." "Skipping stones?" the stone giant asked. "Yes, I would like to challenge you to a game, and I would like to make a bet with you. If I could beat you, you will let me go. If I lose, you could do what you want with me." Now, that may not sound good to you. It certainly doesn't sound very good to me. What do you think that stone giant would do if it won? But after all, Scunny Wundy, he figured this was probably his only chance. And, he was feeling pretty confident with himself. How many skips did he just got?
12.
He figured he could beat any old clumsy stone giant. Well, that stone giant looked down at him and just started to laugh. "Skipping stones? I invented the game, skipping stones. I accept your challenge. Now, do you think Scotty and Wendy wanted to challenge that stone giant now? Is it easy to beat someone at a game they invented? They're usually pretty good at it. After all, what are those stone giants made out of? Stone. Makes sense it could have invented a game like skipping stones. But before Scotty and Wendy could change his mind, that stone giant stepped behind a big hill, reached down and picked something up. And when it came around the other side, there underneath its arm, it had a huge stone. That stone was bigger than this area right here, bigger than this room. A big, huge, flat stone. And that stone giant just went. And it threw that stone out of the water, and it went kaboom.
1,
Kaboom.
2,
Boom.
3, 4,
Boom.
5,
Boom.
6,
Boom.
7,
Boom.
8, 9,
Boom.
10,
Boom.
11,
Boom.
12,
Boom.
13,
Boom.
14,
Boom.
15,
Boom.
16.
Ka. 16 giants. How? What was Scotty Wendy's best? 12. He needed to find the best stone ever. He was looking and looking and looking. Well, what happens to all the good stones after you've been skipping for a while? Where are they?
In the water.
Way out in the water. Could he go swimming for one now? That stone giant probably think he was trying to get away. All that was left were little tiny pebbles, maybe 1, 2, 3 skips at most. Well, Scotty Wendy, he thought all was lost. But just then, he heard a tiny little voice down by the ground go,
Pick me, Scotty Wendy. I will help you beat the stone giant. Pick me, pick me.
huh? And he looked and something started waddling out from underneath the log. At first he thought it was a stone. So he reached down and picked it up, and it wasn't a stone at all. It was a little green turtle. Well, obviously this little turtle wanted to help him, probably because those stone giants step on everything, including a lot of little green turtles. And you know, this turtle was rounder and flatter than any of those stones on the ground. So Scotty Wendy looked at that little turtle and said, thank you, and do your best. Well, that little turtle pulled in his little turtle legs, pulled in his little turtle head, pulled in his little turtle tail. Scotty Wendy pulled back his arm and threw that little turtle out in the water, and it went.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That turtle was just about to go underwater after 12 skips, but it did something amazing. It threw out its little turtle legs and began to skim along the top of the water. Boing! 13. Boing! Boing! And it slipped underwater and disappeared with no less than 20 skips. Who had just won? What the hell was that turtle? Well, he turned around, looked up at that stone giant and said, well, looks like I won. That stone giant had never lost at anything before, much less a game it had invented. And I guess it was a little bit of a sore loser. However, it didn't say anything. Instead, it just looked down at Scotty Wendy and went like this. And it began to yell louder and louder. Hope! The trees began to bend. Hope! The earth began to shake. Hope! And that's when Scotty Wendy plugged his ears and started to back up. Because as that stone giant yelled louder and louder, cracks began to form on its stone arms. Cracks began to form on its stone legs and stone body. And that's when that stone giant took a huge deep breath and went, Bruchac! And that stone giant exploded into millions and billions of small stones. Most of them just perfect for skipping. And the only part of that stone giant that fell off in one big piece was its big stone head. And it just went kaboom, 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 splash. And landed in the water, half in, half out. And to this day, somewhere in the Northland, still sits that stone giant's head. Half in, half out. And if you ever find a stone that looks like a big stone head along the edge of a big lake, and you find it on the anniversary of that competition from so long ago, you might just see one eye open on that stone as it looks around. But don't worry, it's not looking for you. It's looking for Scotty Wendy, hoping someday to get a rematch. Hope?
Hey.
Thank you.
Oh, that was